Hi, I'm Liz Hasty, and I don't know how to be anyone other than me. I once heard a quote by an artist, Carolyn Caldwell, "In a world that profits from your self-doubt, being yourself is a rebellious act." It took me a long time to realize that I'm a rebel, because it's just how I'm made. Even when I want to blend in, I don't know how. I really don't. I wish I did, especially when I was younger, and even now some days, because it's hard. It is hard being an authentic human being. It feels like I'm speaking a totally different language sometimes. I can't even count all the times people have told me I'm weird. It happens often, like once a month often. Now that I'm in my late 30s and 40s, people tell me I'm like Miss Frizzle from the Magic School Bus, which is just a polite way of telling a professional adult that they are weird. I accept it. There's no point in fighting it. I just am who I am. A major component of that acceptance comes from my parents. So my parents divorced when I was 10. I went to Catholic school. First day of 5th grade, I'm filling out the contact information. There was only one line for addresses. I raised my hand and said, I had 2 addresses because my parents divorced. My teacher went still, and immediately sent me to the guidance counselor. I was so confused. I was like, what is happening? I didn't get it. Because to me, the divorce was just a fact. There was no drama. There was no shame. My parents never stopped parenting us as a unit. Yes, it was painful, but they always told us kids the divorce was about them, not us. My loving family never stopped being a loving family, ever. Thank you. Yes, they do deserve applause for that. They do. My dad taught me how to talk about my feelings and be proud of them. He's a therapist. I get my goofiness and ability to make friends with everyone I meet from my dad, Michael J. He's right there. I get my confidence from my mom. I throw my shoulders back and I hold my head high because I'm Mary Pat's daughter. There are many times I've had to draw on being Mary Pat's daughter to get through. As I've gotten older, I draw on being Liz Hasty. I throw my shoulders back and I hold my head high because I'm Liz effing Hasty. And I've got this. You know that phrase, dance like no one's watching? That's me all the time. I genuinely forget people can see me. So I'm in my own world, I'm singing terribly, like shaking my butt, doing my thing, and then I'm literally so surprised when I see people are watching me. I'm like, hey guys, sorry. I am a joyful weirdo. And unfortunately, that's not everyone's cup of tea. A lot of people, school bullies, strangers, ex-boyfriends, friends, have tried to make me smaller, quieter, less weird, more acceptable. And when I say my whole life, I mean the whole thing. Grade school, brutal. High school, brutal. College, brutal. This past year, brutal. It never seems to fully go away. One of the longest friend bully situations I had was in college. I had a friend I lived with, Cheryl. Cheryl was beautiful, popular, super organized, always had everything planned out, and guys worshipped her. So we shared a room, and one day, I'm changing my shirt, and this shouldn't matter, but for context, I was like a size 8 or 10 back then, so for me that's like a skeleton human. I was tiny. So I'm changing my shirt up over my head, and she says, "Liz, I think you would feel a lot better about yourself if you worked out." What? So I'm shocked. I pull my shirt down and I say, "Well, I felt pretty good about myself until right now, but thank you." And I walked away with my head hung low. Because what do you do to that? Like, what do you say? Another time, she told me I would have better luck with guys if I showed less of my personality. Let them talk more. As established earlier, that is not a skill I possess. I don't know how. So I kept being me. And they would tell me how funny and cool I was, and then they would ask me for Cheryl's number. So I guess she was onto something. I knew it was toxic to stay in that situation, but I did for 3 years. Because I would forget to look for an apartment until the last minute every year, and every year Cheryl had a plan. She would even fill out the applications for me. So I would sign my name and prepare myself for another year of mostly fun times, punctuated by occasional humiliation. So, 5 years later, I am getting married to a wonderful man. He is the best. He's right there, and I love him. I have never made myself small for him. He loves me for exactly who I am, and I love him right back. So, it's about time for the wedding, and we're setting the guest list. It's supposed to be small. And I decide that I have to invite Cheryl. It's non-negotiable. I have to do it. My husband is mystified but supportive, which is how he is about pretty much all of my choices. Mystified but supportive. I love you, James. So it's the night before my wedding. I've been celebrating with my family and all my lovely friends, and I'm feeling good. Very open, accepting, unfiltered, if you will. So Cheryl gets into town late and stops by to say hi before she goes to her hotel. I'm with my best friend, Nakia, who's also here. I love you, Nakia. And we are about to go for a walk. So Cheryl says, "I just want to tell you I'm sorry. I think sometimes I wasn't always kind to you, and I said things that weren't okay." Immediately, I reply, "Oh my God, yeah, you were awful to me." You didn't like yourself, and I liked me, so you projected all of that onto me. And then I looked at her face, and I was like, I was not supposed to say that. I said, I was supposed to say, "Oh, no, it's fine," or, "No, I didn't even notice." Instead, I said, "Oh, yeah, no, you're deeply insecure. I figured that out. Thanks for coming to my wedding. Bye." Sorry, Cheryl. So Cheryl stayed. And she was lovely, but honestly, I wasn't paying attention. I was busy being stupidly happy and showing off the pockets in my wedding dress. So, my family dances. My mom is an amazing dancer. The kind people stop and watch, complete with signature moves like a shoulder drop. My sister is a great dancer. My dad, even my brother, he can do the worm, which is shocking every time. He is not a small man, and he is serious. But the moral of the story, my family has rhythm. So what? Yeah, they do, I don't. One day, you'll see. One day when I was around 13, I'm in the car with my mom, and we're driving to Jessup, Iowa. Music cranked up. I'm trying to clap along. My mom would patiently get me back on the beat. Eventually, I say, "Mom, if I can't find a rhythm and I don't understand the beat, does that mean I'm a bad dancer?" My loving, supportive mom took a long pause and said, "Well, Lizzy, you do dance." "I do dance, Mom?" "Not, you're a good dancer, but you are a person who dances." Nice cover, Mom. I've told that story to a lot of people, and my friends, "You do dance, Lizzy," has become adopted by a lot of my friends. Because I do dance. I am terrible at it. But I don't care. I dance. I am a terrible singer. I don't care. I sing often, loudly, terribly. For my 40th birthday, I decided everyone I know should come to Danville and celebrate me turning 40. I just went for it. I got myself 3 cakes. I was not one of those people who says, "No presents, you being there is enough." I said, "Please come and bring me presents." And they did. I had a pile. It was fantastic. I also decided that it was going to be a lip sync party, because all I ever wanted to do was a lip sync performance for my friends and family where they couldn't leave. And the best song, in my opinion, ever to lip sync is Michael Bolton, "How Am I Supposed to Live Without You?" It's the best, a true classic. So I had a costume, I had a wig, I danced, I blasted it up, it was glorious. And all the people I gathered watched and cheered, and some were dumbfounded, Aunt Sue, but no one was cruel. They celebrated me for exactly who I am. Because you know what? I do dance. And I believe that being your truest self can inspire others to do the same. And that little by little, the world can become a kinder, sillier place. Thank you.